So 2023 was just crazy, and I'm so glad I pumped more money into the market than I ever did back in 2022, especially in that last quarter, because 2023, the market just absolutely exploded and soared. But then we got another gift. Great dividend stocks fell massively while all the rest of our stocks that we bought in 2022 were busy doubling up and tripling up in some cases. So it's like double awesome for a buy and hold investor like myself and like most of you guys out there. But that was last year and we're here. We're this year in 2024, so we gotta have a different plan, a different strategy for what we're gonna look at this year. So let's talk about that today. But it does come with a warning that you absolutely must hear as well. So we're gonna take advantage of 2024, but you gotta be aware of this because if you're not, 2024 could be a very, very bad year for you. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype. And if you want to make 2024 the launching pad for you to achieve financial freedom and retire early, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there for my new channel where that's exactly what we discuss. It's all about that all the time. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you're subscribed over there. So every year when I sit down to make my plan, I basically use the same template. So I use a simple 4-step plan. So when chaos happens, like what came in 2022, and maybe we see in 2024, who knows? The point being, I keep this simple plan right there, as simple as can be, because when the chaos comes and everything's going everywhere and the media's all over the place and the YouTube saying it's the end of the world and everything else, I'm able to calmly sit down, execute my plan, and buy confidently and make all the moves I need to make in order to make that year a successful year. So step number 1 is I will take what the market gives me. This is the one that I see people screw up the most because they just won't take what Wall Street will give them. They play Wall Street's game, and when you play Wall Street's game, you're playing against Harvard MBAs, supercomputers, the rules are all bent to their favor, everything is in their favor, so don't play their game. Take what the market gives you, and that way you're able to always take advantage of the market itself instead of the market taking advantage of you. If you want to play their game, you're going to get screwed, guys. That is the reality. That is life. You can fight it. I don't care what anybody else on YouTube says. The fact of the matter is you have to take what the market gives you. That's how you take advantage of the market. I know that may not make a lot of sense here, so let me explain it a little bit further. You have to buy assets when they're undervalued when Wall Street decides to get stupid. And let me give you some examples here. Back in 2022, Wall Street gave you small caps at an incredibly cheap discount there as it continued to erode there in 2022. And then guess what happened? Then all of a sudden, the small caps were still on a deal. Some of them were in, some of them didn't. But then all of a sudden, mega cap, tech just completely cratered. All the way, Meta in the 80s, Amazon in the 80s, Google, you guys know it. Tesla in the low 100s. Nvidia in the low 100s. They gave you steal deals on those stocks next. And then this past year in 2023, all those stocks all had massive runs. And it was dividend plays, old man style plays, that became the discount and became the stocks that were kind of the stocks to buy there. Some of our small caps, again, kind of fell into that as they kind of ran up and went down and ran up and went down. So you're able to add to a Palantir, to a SoFi a few times over the course of 2023. But the large cap, slow old man style stocks fell in 2023, and they were the ones that were riding high in 2022. So instead of chasing, oh, I want to own this stock, people that were chasing Meta this past year or, other stock, Nvidia this past year, man, you were paying a huge premium for them when you should have been buying them the year before and just taking what Wall Street gives you. That's what I mean by taking advantage of them. They want to get stupid. Fine, I might not have wanted to add old man style stocks this year. I may have wanted to build out a bigger position or maybe start a position in Nvidia, for example. But for me, it wasn't the time to do that. It was time for me to add to those dividend style stocks, and that's exactly what I did. And yeah, that means some years you don't buy a particular stock for an entire year, and that also means other years that's one of the only stocks that you buy. It's happened repeatedly. I will go years without buying Apple, and then I'll go 2 or 3 years straight where that's pretty much where all my money goes. So you have to take what the market gives you. Step number 2, I will put in the work and have price targets for each stock that I want to own. Guys, you can't do number 1 if you don't know what fair value is. You don't know what that price to execute to because you have no idea if that stock's on a steal deal or if it's significantly overvalued. So you've got to start with the basics. You've got to create a valuation, create a price target, and then at that stage, you're able to tell where a stock is in terms of where Wall Street is giving you the deal so you can take advantage of it. So don't skirt that work. You have to put in that work. You have to learn it. I understand my group's not right for everyone. I understand that completely. Google it. Take somebody else's courses, jump into somebody else's group. It doesn't matter, but you have to understand and you have to be able to find fair value so then you can set price targets so you can take advantage of Wall Street whenever they get dumb. If you're not doing that, you're just susceptible to whatever the heck the latest hype thing is, and that's how you end up buying high and selling low, kind of rinse and repeat there. If you put in the work, you will know intimately the stock, when it's on a steal deal, and you will confidently be able to execute despite all the doom and gloom that will be around that stock whenever it happens. Holiday sale is live, and when the holidays are over, guys, the price goes up forever. So make sure you take advantage. And remember, if you want to see that complete watch list, complete with price targets, you want to see all my buy and sell alerts on these stocks and other stocks, and you want to take 5 courses for free, use my stock analyzer tool for free, be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, get tons of exclusive videos from me, slide into my DMs, talk to me anytime, jump on our live Q&As where I lose my voice half the time, and a bunch of other stuff like that. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you, because the holiday sale is live, and when the holidays are over, guys, the price goes up forever. So make sure you take advantage before the price goes back up again forever. Step number 3, continue to raise cash during slow times and look for ways to increase my income or reduce expenses. Look, I bought like crazy in 2022, the most amount of money I've ever put into the stock market. And at the beginning of 2023 there, hey, it was really, really nice too. But then everything started to run, or at least the stocks that I own, most of them started to run. So I took that opportunity to not, instead of chasing stocks, to kind of build up my cash. And then dividend stocks fell, so I had plenty of cash to buy those. And of course, we're on another rally again. And so I'm able to stack up cash once again for that next rally that comes in. And I am constantly looking for ways to cut expenses and grow my other businesses that I have. This isn't the only business that I have here, guys. I have plenty of other businesses that keep me rather busy. And I look to continue to grow those so that way I have more income, not to spend. I don't spend it. I put it into my cash pile so that way I can buy various investments from real estate to stocks and everything else. That is how you ensure you always have plenty of capital, is you take advantage when the deals are there, you lay off when they're not there, you continue to build that cash, you don't get out there and spend it, and you're constantly looking for ways to increase your income, take on extra hours, start a side hustle, whatever the heck you want to do out there. The point being, spend that time utilizing that and growing those cash piles so that way you will have more investable capital in the future. Hey, it may only be an extra $100 a month right now. That can turn into an extra 200, 500, 1,000 later on, and you'll be very, very glad you did that 20 years from now as you build out your portfolios. All right, so on to number 4, and we'll get to the warning just after that. But guys, we got to talk about number 4 next. And step number 4, I will ignore Wall Street, the media, and YouTube and just stick to the facts. I don't care about Michael Burry or Harry Dent or any of the other folks out there who predict a giant mega crash every single year, which, by the way, they're wrong almost all the time. I guess if you predict a crash every year, it's eventually going to happen. Point being, I don't listen to any of them. I don't listen to economists because they're constantly wrong too, because their models aren't actually geared towards the real world. Warren Buffett's famous for saying, hey, if you got an economist on staff, you have one too many employees. And that's Warren Buffett. He's usually a nice guy. So if he doesn't like economists, all that tells you absolutely how worthless all their predictions were. And all you got to do is look at 2023, right? We were supposed, according to the economists, hey, stock market was supposed to crash. We're supposed to have this giant recession that never showed up in 2023. It was a great year. All those sort of things were all predicted by economists with all the little models and all the little charts and graphs and everything else, and they're always wrong far more than they're right. I don't care about what the media says because 1, they just say things just to say things, and 2, most of them are traders, and I don't care what traders are doing. Great, this may be a great market or a terrible market for traders. I could care less. I'm a long-term buy and hold investor, so why in the world would I listen to somebody who's a trader, who is not a long-term buy and hold investor like myself? That just doesn't make any sense. Same thing with YouTube. I'm not going to listen to all the folks that are out there chasing clicks and all that good stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to get clicks too, and everybody's trying to do that. I understand that. But I also understand that a lot of those same folks were just falling right in line with the media with the narrative at the end of 2022 that, hey, 2023 is going to be terrible. Don't buy all these great deals all around you. That was a lot of folks. Everybody had 2023 as bad. My guess is because they were listening to the media. They were listening to the economists. They were listening to all the smart people out there, instead of just doing their own analysis, looking at the facts and understanding where stocks were and what their valuations were at, more importantly, and instead saw, hey, not everything's jiving here. Let me go ahead and buy these stocks. And then obviously if it got worse, cool, I would continue to average down, but that's clearly not what happened. And I was so glad that we were buying up all the deals. Remember last year at the beginning of the year, Tesla was dead. Google was going to go away because ChatGPT was going to kill it. Facebook or Meta, whatever the heck you want to call it, was a completely dead company and nobody wants any part of that. And just the metaverse is stupid and all that sort of stuff like that. Palantir, terrible company. Who wants to own that stock? They'll never be profitable. Those were all the narratives. And there was a whole bunch more around all of our favorite stocks that I'm so glad we completely ignored and bought. Oh, once again this year, I'm going to ignore all those sources and just stick to the facts and stick to my plan. But that leads me right here to the big warning that you absolutely have to understand, guys, because it's at it once again, but it's coming from a completely different angle. Remember, at the end of last year, everything was doom and gloom, but I'm starting to see a whole lot of pumping for this year, for 2024, a whole lot of pumping, a whole lot of 10x this, 100x that. This is an opportunity. If you don't buy it right now, it's gone forever, and a lot of other things like that. So the warning is, don't FOMO because of those narratives. Don't FOMO into stocks. Stick to your fundamentals. 2021 was an anomaly year where things went to the moon and looked like they never come back down. We're probably never going to see a run like that again in stocks. So completely ignore that narrative. Completely ignore those, these crazy price targets that people are going to throw out there, and these crazy, speculative this, and if this happens and that happens and that happens, and third sun on the full moon day, whatever, it's going to go to the moon. Ignore all that stuff. Stick with your fundamentals. Don't FOMO in, and basically buy stocks whenever you feel they're hitting their price target, or do what is possibly the easiest and the best strategy overall, and that's just simply to DCA into great stocks, which means you DCA into them when they're high, you DCA them when they're low, which of course you can more heavily DCA if you want to. Doesn't matter at that stage. The point being, just execute a simple DCA to kind of keep that FOMO completely out of your investing. And remember, if you want to see that complete watch list, complete with price targets, you want to see all my buy and sell alerts on these stocks and other stocks, and you want to take 5 courses for free, use my stock analyzer tool for free, be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, get tons of exclusive videos from me, slide into my DMs, talk to me anytime, jump on our live Q&As where I lose my voice half the time, and a bunch of other stuff like that. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you, because the holiday sale is live, and when the holidays are over, guys, the price goes up forever. So make sure you take advantage before the price goes back up again forever. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.